You're watching KESQ, the desert's news leader, live in high definition. This is News Channel 3 at noon.
It's the 24th Annual Palm Springs International Film Festival. Ben Moses joins us. He is a man of many hats, the writer, producer, director of a film that you can see this week. It's called A Whisper to a Roar, a documentary about freedom.
About activism and why people rise up and stand in front of tanks like in Tiananmen Square, and how people who get power become corrupt almost every time if they're not controlled. And we went to 5 countries on 4 continents: Zimbabwe, Ukraine, Malaysia, Egypt, and Venezuela, to see those, to show how universal the problem is, and the result that always occurs when people are oppressed.
How did you take this project up? What made you say, I want to make a documentary about this?
Dr. Larry Diamond of Stanford University runs the Center on Democracy, Development, and the Rule of Law at Stanford, and he wrote a book about 5 years ago called The Spirit of Democracy. And he sent me a copy. We've been friends for a long time, and he sent me a copy. And I said, Larry, this is a wonderful book, but you're writing to the academics of the world, and you're not writing to my people. I said, we have to tell what you know to more people, to a wider audience.
We're seeing some video. This is from the
Venezuela.
documentary. Tell us about this.
These are the students in Venezuela who stood up against Chavez once they discovered that he was taking power gradually and becoming more of a dictator than a Democrat.
And of course, he's in the news because there's a lot of questions about his current state of health.
There's real belief that he's got only weeks to live, if not days.
You started this project years ago, and it actually took a little bit longer, I imagine, than you imagined because of the changing world events.
Well, because of Mubarak and sure, Tahrir Square and the Arab Spring. We actually had been filming in Egypt in November before Tahrir Square erupted, and we had to go back after Tahrir Square. And luckily, we were working with the people who started the revolution, and they gave us all their footage that they shot during the revolution, and we have it in the film. It's an amazing amount of footage.
And the idea was that this might be seen by a number of audiences in other nations. You actually made a choice not to really focus on Western democracies as the center of this project.
It's a cautionary tale. The film starts out with a quote from Abraham Lincoln that says, "Give a man power. If you really want to find the character of a man, give him power." And we show how universally power corrupts. And if we don't have strong institutions, strong relationships that separate powers like we do here, then somebody can accumulate power, and they will, because listen, yesterday we were standing at the screening at the Palm Canyon Theater, and there's an audience voting for audience awards, and there were a whole bunch of ballots lying out there. And I said to the person who was holding the ballot box, I said, well, why don't I just stuff this ballot box in my favor, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought, isn't that interesting? Here I made a film about this problem, and the first reaction I have when I see the opportunity to stuff the ballot box is to like, oh, well, let's do this in our favor. So you can see how quickly it can happen. And when someone has unfettered power, they will take it.
It sounds like a fascinating subject, and it will be screening tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock at the Palm Canyon Theater in Palm Springs. And whispertoaroar.com is where you go if you want to know more. whispertoaroar.com.
A lot of good information on the film there as well, so it's not too late to get tickets for this as well. We appreciate you joining us, Ben Moses. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Very nice to be here.
Best of luck. Enjoy your stay here in Palm Springs.
We are. Thank you.
Okay.